can paint with anything, almost. But I want that to be a kind of interesting passage back there, so I drop a little extra blue in there. Yes. And then some more green. Let's try that blue with a little bit of burnt umber. See what happens to it. Wow! Look at that blue. Look at that green. Mmm.
You said blue. What color blue do you use?
Pardon?
Peacock?
Peacock blue. It's
I didn't know if you were using a different blue.
Pardon?
I didn't know if you changed blues or...
No.
Okay.
Well, I might have. These things happen when you're painting. Some of these things happen. I'm going to try to once again change the aspect of that passage by putting a little blue on one end of it. I have it in my little sketch, so why not put a little dab of it in there and make it a little bit more exciting. And we'll throw those houses in there afterwards. And now, let's see, I need a little of this and a little of that, and sometimes a little bit of this, and a little of that. Woo. I want this big plane here to be what I want to say, plain. I want it to be plain. I don't want it to be stark, jumping out at everything. It's gonna get a little. We're gonna get some runs in it. We'll try a little of everything here. Yes, take a little of that darker green again and drop it in here.
So was it one coat of gesso, or did you have to put a couple of coats on?
No, just one coat. It's enough.
Are there other artists using this gesso covered watercolor? Or is this something unique that you come up with?
Are there other artists
I'm not familiar with it.
that are doing it now?
Doing the gesso watercolor paper.
There are some that are they're legends in their time. Some might say they're allegedly out of their minds.
What does the gesso do that's different from the paper?
Keep it from what?
What does the gesso do that's different from just watercolor paper?
Oh, well, you'll see when you come up here and look at it.
Does it have to coat both sides of the paper so it doesn't buckle?
No, you do not.
Does it take longer to dry?
Pardon?
Does it take longer to dry?
It takes a little while for the gesso to dry. It takes, I coated those boards out and just left them there for a day.
I mean the paint.
The paint, this paint? No, that dries pretty fast. See, it's like a regular watercolor. It's drying.
I have.
The gesso paper is sealed.
Pardon?
The gesso paper is sealed. It doesn't have absorbency anymore.
No, that's right.
And that's
So
what
you're
this-
painting on a hard surface like a,
Right.
yeah,
You could
I,
put gesso on canvas and do a watercolor on canvas if you wanted to. Or a masonite board.
So you can use it on anything.
Oh, yeah.
then I've got a red spot in here that I want. So I'm gonna take color out of that. See how nice that gesso works? You can just take that color right out to the base. And then I'm gonna throw some red in there, something really modest. Maybe a little of this and a little of that.
So don't bother to ask you what color it is.
It's red. That is red. And I'm gonna soften an edge of it here. And maybe even dab it in a little bit.
What's the real name for the red dirt?
It's called red dirt, and it's a ferrous oxide. It's oxidized soil, and their soil is made up of a lot of things like hematite, which we used to mine up in Minnesota, and a number of other things. I'm not a geologist, so I don't really know too much about it, but and now that's a space in here where it's revealed. There's rock underneath of it. Let's just get some color in here. Yeah, we'll throw a little purple in there too. I think it was Skip Lawrence that said, you know, you don't have to paint everything the color that you see there. You can do anything you want, and that's true. But we're oftentimes kind of scared to do that.
Nels, what would happen if you had that elevated, if you had it at a slant instead of flat?
Vertical,
Yeah,
it would be running all over the place.
all over the place.
Yeah, it would be hard to hold it steady. Now another green, let's have another green. Anybody have any good ideas? How about quinacridone gold and blue? Oh, goodness sakes. Eesh, that's really something.
Still using peacock blue?
Well, that was quinacridone gold and I think it might have been ultramarine. I grabbed a blue here, but I'm not sure what it was. A little more yellow green would be nice. You can always put the yellow in and then make the green.
Do you always draw it out first?
I have lines here that are indicating where things are, but I haven't done any detailed drawing of anything in here. But it's doesn't require a lot of detailed drawing. If like that little painting I showed you of the island car, I mean, drawing that car. And that's not my favorite thing to do, but it's an important thing to do if you're gonna depict a car. It better be, it better look like an automobile, at least. Gee, that sky really happened kind of funny, didn't it? I like it. It's kind of fun. Keep this soft. How are we doing time-wise?
About 5 more minutes till 8, but you can keep going till you're ready to quit there.
Got to have some more red dirt. I think I'm gonna, you throw a little orange in there and then start it. And then maybe I'll throw a little bit of alizarin in on top of that. And I'll move it around a little bit.
When this painting is dry, can you glaze over the top of it, or will it pick up what you've got down there?
No, you can,
You can glaze over it?
you can't, no. I mean,
No.
it'll, if you go over it with a brush,
Yeah.
with wet paint, it's gonna pick up
Gonna pick
whatever's
it up.
underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you finish it, do you varnish it or spray it?
Well, it'd be framed like that one is.
So you don't have to put any finish?
No, it's a piece of,
Right.
you do have to cover it. It's covered, that painting is covered with plexiglass. Because if somebody goes by like this, they can make a white streak in it. Because it really picks up, it can really pick up that color.
If you sprayed it with varnish or something, would that help?
Golly, I've never done that with, I've done that with the painting that was done on a piece of, what do you call it? You use it for either oils or acrylics or watercolors. Watercolor board. I've done watercolors on board and I've varnished those. I have mixed feelings about the result of that. We are getting some variety in our greens though, aren't we?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
A lot of times I'm just kind of instinctually going along, you know, like I grab a color that I think will work, and here we go with some more of that red. I love that red dirt.
Really takes a form now.
So it runs.
Pardon?
It really takes a form now. When you pull it down, you can see the depth of the down.
Well, thank you. I'm glad. I'm probably having way too much fun here.
No such thing.
And this should recede in there a little bit. Yeah, well, just be careful there, Nels.
Did you have to go a long ways to get to where you saw scenery like this?
What, pardon?
Did you have to go a long ways to go to a place where you saw scenery like this?
Oh, no. No, Kauai is seen around every corner. And like I say, I walked from the place I was staying with my equipment a couple of times out into down the road, and then, whoa, let's stop here. You know? And there were other places I could have stopped. It was really, really an exhilarating experience. Very. A lot of fun. And this one's dark on that there, and I don't know whether it has to be, but let me just put that color in there and see how I feel about it. And there's trees, see, that foliage that these rocks are going into. Yeah. Now this green here, this is where I got bogged down in Hooker's Green, and I'm going to try to give myself a little variety here. I'll pick up some greens that I've mixed in other places and try to.
The small watercolor is done on paper, right?
Pardon?
The small watercolor that you did on site is done on paper.
That's a watercolor block, 140
Watercolor,
pound
yeah.
Saunders.
Not Gesso.
No, it's a watercolor